My name is John D. Eidelberg. I am the Sheriff of Lake County. I want to welcome everyone here for this moment to recognize our officers and the great performance of their job to keep our community safe. We're here to recognize all the great things they've done, and it's my pleasure to be here to start this ceremony. And I won't take very much of time because we're all here, family and friends, to recognize our sons and daughters and friends. So I'd like to turn it over to Chris Cavelli, my Deputy Chief of Court Security. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get started with a couple of Sheriff Citizen Life-Saving Awards. These are awards that are not easy to achieve. They're awards where members of the public had a first-hand role in assisting the sheriff's office or other entities in saving the life of a person. Essentially, if it weren't for them, a life could have been lost. So first, I would like to ask Chad Farner to come forward, please. Thank you, Chad. And he's joined today by his wife, Maggie, daughter, Mackenzie, and mother and father-in-law, Karen and Benton. On December 28th, 2021, an 83-year-old man was having a medical emergency while having lunch at the North Shore Sports Club. The victim complained of being dizzy and passed out. When deputies arrived at the scene, Chad Farner and Matthew Siebert, employees of the club, were performing CPR and using an AED on the victim. Rescue personnel arrived and took over the life-saving measures before transporting the victim to the hospital. The victim survived this medical emergency, no doubt because of the immediate aid provided. Chad's quick thinking, professional abilities, and good judgment bring great credit upon himself and all of the citizens of Lake County. Chad, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce Christina Wilges. And Christina is joined today by her son, Cody Wilges, and daughter-in-law, Allie Wilges. On June 24th, 2021, a 74-year-old Grays Lake resident was reported missing by her husband. This was a missing endangered person report where numerous sheriff's deputies were dispatched to the scene in an attempt to locate the man. Deputies responded and they began an immediate search. A media release and a push notification was provided on the Lake County Sheriff's social media app, and it was broadcast to everybody that was in the area or who has signed up for the app access. Christina received the alert on her cell phone while she was at work at the Jewel in Gurnee. She observed a female that matched the description of the alert she received, and the individual was inside the Jewel. Christina immediately called 911 and followed the missing female until Gurnee Police Department arrived and located the female. The missing traveled more than 3 miles, and Christina's action no doubt led to the missing endangered person being located quickly. Christina, thank you very much for your actions. And next, I would like to introduce Deputy Chief Jim McKinney.
Good afternoon. In looking at the list of the officers that we're going to recognize here today, I noticed there are a few names that are missing. And with that, I would like to say that on behalf of the Sheriff's Office, we appreciate all the family and friends and loved ones that are here to show appreciation to the officers. You are the stable aspect in their lives, and without you guys, we couldn't do what we do. So let's give a round of applause for everyone that's here. Okay, our first up in our awards is a life-saving award, and this will go to Deputy Nicholas Sapola and Deputy Gregory Oakes. For exceptional meritorious actions on September 8th, 2021, while assigned as a deputy to the Highway Patrol, Deputy Oakes, along with Deputy Sapola, responded to the home of an 84-year-old Sheriff Are You OK program participant. And for those that don't know what that program entails, it's an opportunity for elderly people who have medical conditions that wish to receive a call from the sheriff's office once a day to check on if they're doing okay in the event that they have some type of medical crisis. The woman, in this case, lived alone and had health issues and did not answer her daily phone call. Stephanie Evans, the Sheriff's Office Record Division, contacted 911 communications and deputies were dispatched to the residence. Deputy Oakes spoke briefly to a neighbor, then with Deputy Sapola made entry into the residence, thoroughly checking the interior, but were unable to locate the woman. Deputy Sapola began searching a wooded area bordered by a private pond on the north side of the residence and located a woman lying on her back in a patch of tall weeds approximately 30 feet from the deck of the residence. The woman was alert but confused and said she was cutting flowers the day prior and had fell in the weeds and was unable to get up. She did not have a cell phone and was able to get anyone's attention. The woman was wearing pajamas and suffered numerous insect bites on her legs and arms and face while lying in the mud and the weeds since approximately 7 p.m. the prior evening. Rescue personnel responded to check her, and she was released at the scene. Deputy Oak's quick thinking and Deputy Sapola's professional abilities and good judgment are in the finest traditions of law enforcement and reflect great credit upon themselves and the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Congratulations, guys. Next up is a Sheriff's Commendation Award for Deputy Dwight Arrowwood. I think we have a picture of Deputy Arrowwood. Deputy Arrowwood is the furry one at the bottom. I'm just teasing. Deputy Arrowwood and his partner Canine Duke. On March 2nd of 2022, while on routine patrol, Deputy Dwight Arrowwood and his partners were dispatched to assist rescue call in Third Lake, where a person who was riding an ATV crossed the lake and broke through the ice and was now in the water, struggling to stay afloat. Deputy Arrowwood and Deputy Nudie arrived on scene and observed a male victim struggling to stay above the water, approximately 150 to 200 feet from the shoreline. It was 52 degrees outside and the ice was thin in numerous areas, creating significant hazards and challenge to the rescue of the victim. Prior to the arrival of rescue, which had the proper life-saving equipment, Deputy Arrowwood devised a plan. He was able to locate a small metal rowboat and numerous different flotation devices along the shoreline. He immediately removed the vest and his duty belt and proceeded onto the thin ice to reach the victim. Deputy Arrowwood was able to get to the area of broken ice where the victim had submerged. Rescue personnel arrived and began sending divers and rescue personnel towards Deputy Arrowwood. Deputy Arrowwood assisted the rescue divers in locating the victim and brought him to the surface. Life-saving measures were taken by rescue personnel and the victim was transported to the hospital in critical condition, but eventually succumbed to his injuries. Later that same evening, Deputy Arrowwood was dispatched to an injury accident where two vehicles collided head-on at Route 83 on Winchester Road. Deputy Arrowwood arrived on scene and assisted in comforting the victims of the accident and keeping them calm until rescue arrived. Deputy Arrowwood was compassionate and thorough. He went above and beyond to retrieve personal effects from the vehicles for the victim's family. Coincidentally, the families of the victims from the Third Lake incident and the family of the victim of the accident met in the emergency room. Both families spoke and realized Deputy Arrowwood was the same deputy who assisted their loved ones. They contacted Lake County Sheriff's Office, who commended Deputy Arrowwood's professionalism, passion, and bravery to serve the public and their loved ones. Deputy Dwight Arrowwood, dedication to duty, attention to detail, and perseverance are in the finest traditions of law enforcement and reflect great credit upon himself and the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Arrowwood is currently out of state and was unable to be here, but we tape these events, so hopefully he'll be able to look at this with his family upon his return. Next up in our awards is the Deputy of the Month Award. And what this award is, we have 3 shifts, days, afternoons, and midnights. And each of those shifts will nominate deputies according to what they've done on the street or specific calls for service. Even though these awards occurred last year, we were in the middle of the COVID crisis and we were unable at that time to give these awards, so that's why there's a delay. First up will be Deputy Matthew Savage for Deputy of the Month for September of 2021. Deputy Savage has been selected as the Midnight Shift Deputy of the Month for actions that he took during an assist rescue call on 9/3/21. Beach Park Rescue was dispatched to report of a construction worker who had cut his hand. When Deputy Savage approached the construction worker, he could see the man bleeding from the hand, even though his co-workers had tried to make a tourniquet out of a bungee cord. Deputy Savage could see the improvised tourniquet was ineffective in controlling the bleeding. Deputy Savage applied a tourniquet as he had been trained. After applying the tourniquet, Deputy Savage assessed the bleeding and determined that it was controlled. Once Beach Park Rescue arrived on scene, the construction worker was taken to the hospital for medical treatment. Deputy Savage's actions likely saved the man from serious medical complications or death from the loss of blood. Next up is Deputy Ann Schultz-Mock. On September 20th of 2021, Deputy Ann Schultz-Mock responded to a burglary call on Genesee Street in Wakanda. A male subject was seen entering a residence on a doorbell camera. The individuals who owned the residence were not at home and they had called this into the sheriff's office. That suspect actually left the scene prior to Deputy Mock's arrival. And as the experienced investigator, Deputy Mock followed up the investigation by not only identifying the subject, but conduct several interviews and determined that the subject had entered the home believing it belonged to another. And for this, an individual was not falsely arrested and accused on that. So for that, she was awarded Deputy of the Month for September of 2021. Next up is Deputy Stephen Espinoza. On November 22nd of 2021, Deputy Espinoza observed a vehicle pulling a trailer on Green Bay Road near Wadsworth Road, which matched a recent critical reach from McHenry County for a stolen trailer. Deputy Espinoza quickly reviewed the posting and located the trailer on Beach Road. A subject was seen walking away from the vehicle. Deputy Espinoza interviewed the subject, who admitted that he was in the vehicle. The offender was transported to Criminal Investigations Division, where he was charged. In all, Deputy Espinoza recovered the stolen trailer, a stolen ATV, and a stolen Ford F-350. For this reason, Deputy Stephen Espinoza is the Lake County Sheriff's Office Patrol Deputy of the Month for November. Next up is Deputy Chase Skrypek. While on patrol on December 12th of last year, Deputy Chase Skrypek observed a vehicle driving in excess of 90 miles an hour on Route 59, which is probably normal for most of that traffic. Deputy Skrypek attempted to stop the vehicle when the driver fled. The dispatch advised that the vehicle was stolen. Deputy Skrypek followed the vehicle to a dead end where the driver and passenger fled on foot. The vehicle was recovered along with a handgun and proceeds from other burglaries. This traffic stop likely prevented additional burglaries in the area. For this reason, Deputy Chase Skrypek is the Lake County Sheriff's Office Midnight Patrol Deputy of the Month for December of 2021.
Thank you, everyone.
Next up is our AIM Awards. The Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists is the largest group of its kind in Illinois advocating for victims' rights for stronger DUI laws. Each year, AIM compiles a DUI arrest statistic from every law enforcement agency in Illinois. In their annual reports, AIM recognizes those law enforcement agencies and officers who have gone above and beyond to make impaired driving and enforcement a priority. The Lake County Sheriff's Office and its deputies have consistently been among the most proactive in removing impaired drivers from the roadway. In 2021, Lake County Sheriff's deputies arrested 310 impaired drivers, the most of any sheriff's office in the state. Within the Sheriff's Office, several deputies were specifically recognized by the AIM as being the top cops for DUI enforcement due to their large numbers of DUI arrests. The DUI enforcement can often be a thankless task, and we are proud to recognize these deputies for their hard work in keeping the community safe from impaired drivers. The first up with 25 DUI arrests is Deputy Robert Rossetti. Next up is Deputy Kevin Gower with 25 DUI arrests. Next up is Deputy Juarez with 25 DUI arrests. Next up is Brandon Ng with 25 DUI arrests. Returning back to the front is Deputy Chase Skrypek with 75 DUI arrests. Next up is Deputy Michael Turkson with 100 DUI arrests. And the next up is Sergeant Ari Briskman with 600 DUI arrests. Let's give them another round of applause for all their efforts. At this time, I would like to introduce Sergeant Ari Briskman for the Marine Unit Recognition Awards.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chief. Today we're going to recognize 3 individuals from the Lake County Sheriff's Office Marine Unit. Two of whom have announced their retirements from the Sheriff's Office Marine Unit, and one of whom is being recognized for his years of service. First, I would like to welcome up here Senior Deputy Ronald Brandt. Senior Deputy Ronald Brandt has had a lifelong dedication to public service, beginning with the United States Coast Guard. Shortly thereafter, he joined the Niles Police Department, where he served with distinction, rising to the rank of commander and retiring this year. For the past 17 years, Senior Deputy Brandt has simultaneously served the people of Lake County on the Sheriff's Office Marine Unit. Senior Deputy Brandt's tenure on the Marine Unit was notable for his willingness to help train others and better the unit's operations. He is well known as having a calm demeanor and an easygoing nature, both of which made it a positive experience for the many partners with whom he has served over the years. Senior Deputy Brandt's knowledge of boating made him the perfect candidate for the senior deputy position, in which he served for several years. Senior Deputy Brandt, thank you for 17 years of honorable service to the Lake County Sheriff's Office Marine Unit. Enjoy your well-earned retirement. And as a gesture of our appreciation, Sheriff Heidelberg has presented you with that plaque. Thank you. I would next like to welcome up Marine Unit Commander John Crilly. Commander Crilly, as you are here to receive this award, I cannot help but realize how our careers have come full circle. My law enforcement career began 22 years ago as an explorer with the Lake County Sheriff's Office, and you were a sergeant and the lead advisor for the post. Today, I'm your supervisor on the Marine Unit.
And you remind me every day.
Yes, I do. Undoubtedly, some of my success is attributable to you and the confidence you had in promoting a serious, quiet kid to a leadership position in the post. That position boosted my confidence and helped set me on a path to success. So thank you. The impact you've had on me, though, is not unique. You've mentored many other people over the years, including scores of explorers and police officers. In your previous full-time assignment on the Marine Unit, you continued to mentor Marine Unit deputies, often by passing on wisdom through a famous Crilly story or two. You are well known in the law enforcement community as someone who can be a resource for anyone in the agency, from the officers to the chief executive. Your knowledge of the Marine Unit's operations and history have been instrumental in its continued success. Thank you for 35 years of honorable service to the Lake County Sheriff's Office. And as a gesture of our appreciation, Sheriff Heidelberg has presented you with this plaque. Thank you. I'd like to welcome up Senior Marine Unit Deputy Albert Frank. One cannot think of the Marine Unit without also thinking about Senior Deputy Albert Frank. For 37 years, he has been a staple of this unit. Countless Marine Unit deputies and command officers have served with and learned from him. Senior Deputy Frank's skills and professionalism are unmatched, and his solid reputation in the law enforcement community precedes him. This reputation was built on his encyclopedic knowledge of boating safety, maritime operations, and the geography of the chain of lakes. Senior Deputy Frank is also well known in the boating community as one of the faces of the Marine Unit. It is hard to find a boater who does not know or may not have been ticketed by Senior Deputy Frank. When I began my tenure as the command officer in the Marine Unit, I was told by my predecessors that Senior Deputy Frank would be my best asset, and they could not have been more correct. Senior Deputy Frank has spent countless hours preparing and fixing boats, creating training plans, and helping to prepare for the long-term future of the Marine Unit. He does this not out of a sense of obligation, but out of genuine care and concern for the unit and the people we serve. As a 15-year-old explorer with the Sheriff's Office, my first ride-along was on a Marine Unit boat with Senior Deputy Frank and Deputy Simon. As the sun rose on my career with the Sheriff's Office with Senior Deputy Frank, I find it fitting that the sun sets on his career with me in the Marine Unit. Al, I'm deeply grateful for your hard work, your dedication, your mentoring, and your friendship. I wish you all the best in your well-earned retirement. Fair winds and following seas, my friend. Thank you. I would now like to welcome up Sergeant Michael Cavalis.
Thank you and good afternoon. Thank you all for coming today to witness the swearing in of Lake County Sheriff's Office 2 newest canines. My name is Sergeant Mike Cavalis, and I'm the coordinator and supervisor of the Canine unit. Joined here with me is Deputy Tyler Grimscheid and Deputy Kevin Gower and their canines Axel and Echo. I would like to provide you all with a description of the Sheriff's Office Canine unit, our mission and purpose, and to briefly explain the intense training that both our handlers and canine deputies go through to further serve you, the citizens of Lake County. The Canine unit has grown in the past few years from 3 patrol canine teams back in 2015 to now 7 active patrol canine teams who work around the clock. The Lake County Sheriff's Office Canine Unit stands ready every day of the year to provide the best and highest quality service to the citizens that we serve. In the last 3 years alone, the Sheriff's Office Canine teams have been directly responsible for locating over 70 people, to include those children and adults who are missing or endangered, as well as fleeing suspects and criminals. They have located and seized over 40 firearms, over 8,500 grams of cocaine, over 2,300 grams of methamphetamine, over 300 grams of heroin and fentanyl, over 450 prescription pills containing controlled substances, which has resulted in the seizure of over $375,000 in illicit funds related to narcotics trafficking and activity. They have assisted surrounding agencies over 470 times and conducted over 70 canine demonstrations at community events around the county. I am extremely proud of the efforts put forth by all our canine teams, which have built the reputation of excellence that we strive for every day. However, becoming a canine deputy is no easy task. Prospective canine handlers undergo a selection process, which requires them to demonstrate, above average work ethic, physical fitness, dedication to duty, and competence in all aspects of law enforcement. Once selected, the handlers report to Tops Kennels in Grays Lake, where they are paired with their new canine partners on day 1 of an 8-week basic handler course. This course is not your average 9 to 5. The handlers and their canine partners spend countless hours every day working on tasks such as obedience, scent tracking, apprehension, handler protection, and narcotic detection, to name a few. They train in rain or shine, in scorching heat or bitter cold, in both wet and dry conditions, at times over 12 to 14 hours a day. This demanding schedule and tough training is necessary, though, because through it, a bond is created between handler and canine, which few will understand and fewer will ever experience. The two will push each other to become a better version of themselves every day, because they understand that neither one wants to let each other down, and most importantly, neither wants to let you, the public, down. Upon graduation and certification, the canine team is placed on a shift and considered active in the Highway Patrol Division. Training doesn't stop there, as the canine teams conduct maintenance training multiple days every week alongside with their assigned shifts of patrol. Their work is truly never done, but is necessary to continue the high level of performance that is demanded every day. Deputy Tyler Grimscheid and Deputy Kevin Gower were selected as the Sheriff's Office 2 newest canine handlers. They have completed all necessary training and certifications and are now ready to hit the streets with their partners, Echo and Axel. The canine unit has always been dedicated to the community, and as such, in keeping with our tradition, we asked the community for their assistance in naming our 2 newest canines. Thousands of names were submitted from across the county, and school children ultimately selected the names Axel and Echo were chosen by the handlers. We have asked the children and their families who assisted in naming the canines to be here today, and I would like to take a moment to call you all up here, where the sheriff will present you with a certificate for your contributions to our unit. So when I call your name, please, if you or you and your family would like to come up and accept your certificate. The name Echo was submitted by Charlotte Regner of Milburn Elementary School. Charlotte.
Hello, Charlotte. You want to turn around and take a picture?
The name Axel was submitted by 3 applicants. I'll call each one up individually, and you can remain up here. First one is Matthew Prigorenko of Hawthorne Middle School. Next was Carson Alper of Hawthorne Middle School as well.
Congratulations.
And finally was Ethan Jacobs of Deerfield High School. All right, if I could have a round of applause for the Canine Naming Contest winners. With that, I'd like to have Ethan remain up here. Ethan was generous enough to start a GoFundMe account for the Canine unit in his high school and raised over $2,600, which he plans on donating to the Lake County Sheriff's Office Canine unit. With that, I'll turn the mic over to Ethan, who wanted to say a few words.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to Deputy Chief Cavelli and the entire Sheriff's Office for inviting me to this ceremony. It was on a whim I decided to participate in the contest and submit a name for Axel. Honestly, I looked at the dog's picture and the name just came to me. But importantly, I do not want to leave out Matthew and Carson, who also had the same idea and the same great name. And let's not forget Charlotte, who named Echo. Our police force is challenged with the never-ending task of serving and protecting our communities. But in this line of duty, they also have a responsibility to protect themselves as well, and the Canine unit is no exception. It is this very reason that once I was informed that the name I selected was chosen, I decided to initiate a campaign to raise money to fund the purchase of protective vests for these new canine officers so they can be assured the same safety as their handlers. These vests are extremely costly and are often not given budgetary priority for most police forces. I am happy to report that a total of $3,000 was raised, which is more than enough to cover the cost of vests for both new dogs. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations to Axel and Echo for joining the Lake County Sheriff's Department. And thank you again for including me in this special occasion.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
We consider our canine partners deputies, like any one of us are, and each one of us takes an oath of office and is sworn in when we become a deputy sheriff for the Lake County Sheriff's Office. That oath of office is given to us by the clerk of Lake County, Ms. Robin O'Connor. Clerk O'Connor will now administer the oath of office to canine deputies Axel and Echo.
Axel is looking at me. Are you ready? Good. All right. Axel, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Illinois? And do you swear to fearlessly protect the courthouse of Lake County, to perform the duties of explosive detection and search fearlessly for a lost child or an elderly citizen? And do you understand, Axel, what the sheriff and the people of Lake County are asking of you? Because the dog's not going to bark, his owner is now going to give it a sign. Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations, Axel.
Welcome aboard, Echo.
Are you ready? Echo. Over here. Good. Good. Very good. Okay, Echo. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of Illinois? And do you swear, Echo, to fearlessly protect the courthouse of Lake County and to perform the duties of explosive detection and to search fearlessly for a lost child or an elderly citizen? Do you understand what the sheriff and the people of Lake County are asking of you, Echo? The owner will nod or bark. Thank you very much.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Lake County, I'd like to present the badge for Echo as the Deputy Sheriff of Lake County. Thank you. As the Sheriff of Lake County, I'd like to give Axel his badge as Deputy Sheriff of Lake County. Welcome aboard, deputies. I'd like to welcome the two new canines for the Lake County Sheriff Department, Echo and Axel. Again, to give them a round of applause, everyone.
And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Sheriff Eilenberg for closing comments. Thank you.
I want to thank all family members and friends and staff of the Lake County Sheriff Department coming here to see our great officers, recognition for the great job they've done. I am honored and privileged to be part of this great organization with these men and women who do an exceptional job each and every day. I want to say thank you and give them another round of applause. This concludes our ceremony for today, and hopefully everyone have a great afternoon this evening and be safe and enjoy the 4th of July holiday weekend. Again, be safe. Thank you.